Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Now I'm going to share important battles with you all. Now let's discuss. Here we are going to see the name of the battle and the year when it took place and with between whom the battle took place and who was a winner and the significance of the battle as well. So the first battle here the mention is about the Battle of Hydaspes that took in 326 BC before century. So there are two before century battles. That first is Hydaspes and second is Kalinga War. Kalinga War is already very famous. 260 that Kalinga War happened in Odisha between Ashok and King of Kalinga, where the daughter of where the daughter of the king uh, was actually later on married to Kashoka. But here, the bat 260 in 260 BC, the Ashoka was the winner. What was the significance of the battle? Vast destruction and bloodshed changed the attitude of Ashoka, and he embraced Buddhism. He embraced Buddhism, but we know that his grandfather Chandragupta Maurya adopted Jainism, adopted Digambar Jainism, and he became monk as well. And he took a Sandhara at Shravan Bilgola at the last. Battle of Hydaspes 326 BC was held between Alexander and Porus. That is very famous. But yeah, the name of the battle is Hydaspes. Winner is Alexander. Well, it's a conflict. It's a conflict of question that who was the winner, because few of the people says that Porus was actually the real winner. But yeah, book says Alexander. What is the significance of that one? Fought on the bank of Jhelum, which is called Hydaspes in Greek. So Hydaspes is nothing but the another name of Jhelum, known by the Greek peoples. Open relation between India and the West, and because of this only the West from European countries come into the contact to India, came into the contact of to India. Then now AD century, now after decade, battle begins. First battle of the Rhine or Thaneshwar. Thaneshwar, that is in south. Now let's see when it happened, 1191. Let's see first the date. Now let's see one states. First was 326. Next 260 BC. 1191 Thaneshwar. 92 second battle of the Rhine. Is there any another the Rhine battles? Mm, yes. I don't know how the doodle fact will work. I don't know. All right. Mm, इसमें नहीं है कोई ऐसा. Now let's see. So the 1191 Thaneshwar, 92 the Rhine, first battle of Panipat 1526. Just after 12th century, it was happened in 16th century, then 17th, then 18th, then 19th century it took place. That means after even after be- after even if we mention about the quiz time decades, if we mention 000 and after the beginning of date, that is AD, then you can see that after 1,000 years there is no record of important battles here. Might be happened but is not in a record. uh, and directly the record that we have is about 1191 and then 1192, that both relates to the Tarain. So it took place between the Prithviraj Chauhan and Muhammad Kori. Same, Kori and Chauhan. In first battle, Prithvi won the battle, and in next one, Kori. So first was one 1191 92, and there was a time when Muslim rulers step into the in India, and it was the decline period of Hinduism somewhere. Still, establishment of an Islamic empire in India, as just said, this Muslims empire begin, and it was the that pillar of uh, Islamists when the Ghori won the battle in 92 in Tarain. That took place in Tarain. It was it with Haryana. Where is it, Talana? Okay, once again. Okay, Google. Where is Tarain? थानेश्वर is also there. Okay. तराइन को थानेश्वर बोलते हैं तो वो हमारे पृथ्वी के बीच में हुई थी. सेकेंड भी हम देख चुके हैं 92. फर्स्ट बैटल ऑफ पानीपत 26 एंड देन खानवा 27 एंड देन चौसा 39. तो इसकी ट्रिक्स भी होती है. पानी पिया, खाना खाया, चांद देखकर सो गया. चौसा, चांद देखकर सो गया. 26, 27 and 39, that's something, but it took place between whom? Ibrahim Lodi, Babur. Babur, Rana Sanga, Sher Shah and Humayun. Sher Shah won, and then Akbar and him. Akbar won. What was the importance of these battles? Onset of the Mughal Empire in India. Sher Shah became the emperor of India, and Afghan rule strengthened Mughal rule. So 26. See, we know that Babur was called upon to beat against Ibrahim Lodi, and it was already known that Babur will win, and then he actually set Mughal Empire. But later on, a fight between Rajputs and Babur also took place, but again Babur won the battle. Now the Sher Shah, when the battle took place between Sher Shah and Humayun, so Sher Shah won and Humayun fled from the India and came back again later on with more power. But at the time, Humayun, when you must have already watched the television serials, and then we know that Humayun was actually got dead, and then Akbar got the throne. And now, when then battle took place between Akbar and Himu, and the Akbar won, and Afghan rule was ended. So that was all about the Mughal Empire battles 26, 27, 39, and the 56. पानी पिया खाना खाया हो गया चौसा and then again second Panipat then started. Now Battle of Talikot 65 took place in 65. Combined force of four Muslim rulers of Deccan and Ram Raja of Vijayanagar. Muslim forces won the battle, destroyed the Hindu kingdom of the Deccan, sealed the fortunes of Vijayanagar Empire. Now Haldi Ghati very famous between Rana Pratap and Akbar. Akbar won the battle, although we know that Rana Pratap would have won the battle, but because of even his own. Actually, Akbar won the battle because of Rana Pratap's relatives was in the side of Akbar, and that's why only the Akbar won. Otherwise, haha, how Akbar could actually win? Rana Pratap fought currently and took refuge in remote areas. Fortress. Next, Samugarh took place in 17th century, 1659. Had took place between Aurangzeb and imperial forces led by Dara. That means it's actually the most worst Mughal rural. Aurangzeb period has been started. When we talk about 17th century. So 17th century Aurangzeb fight is one, that is Samugad 1659 against imperial forces led by Dara. But yes, it was won by stupid Aurangzeb, and he captured the Mughal throne. Next, Battle of Plassey, that are already very important from the exam point of view. It took place in 18th century between Sirajudullah and English forces under Clive. Now, Britain, English East India Company's step ahead towards India, and the first battle here that mentioned about the Britain is between Sirajudullah and them under the leadership of Clive. English forces won. Till now, we have seen that battles between the Europeans first was took place between Hindus and Europeans, that is Alexander and Porus, and then took place between within Indians, that is Ashoka and Kalinga, and then when if you see when brothers of Indian people fought with each other, and then next next battle that mentioned here is between Islamic and in Hindu people, that is Prithvi and Gauri, and then Mughal emperor established here. But it's no longer that any um, empire could be established for longer period of time. It has to be end on one time. So it's the end of theirs. Sirajudullah and the uh, lost the battle and English forces won. For that Plassey, the English became masters of Bengal, foundation of British rule. Oh, and it's the worst condition going toward worst and more worst. It's the most worst period of India is for India as well, Bharat, because if we see the history, actually it's a declining phase. Because when Mahavira is not there to teach anyone, then of course it's going to be happening. Kalinga War, Buddhism was adopted. Might be people must have known him for many years for peace, and they must have peace inside them. So the Prithviraj like leaders want there, but कहते हैं ना कोई enemies आने होते हैं. So the goddess step in there, 9192, and so many battles took place, and then four of the battles relate four of four five battles related to the Mughal Empire, and then our famous Rana Pratap's mention is here. Next, okay, now let's see what happened when English foundation established in 1757. So third battle of Panipat took place. Third battle of Panipat, and the first battle was took place in 1526, second in 56, 26, 56, and then 61 directly. 26, 56, 26 in 26 it was held between Babur and Lodi. Then in 26, the second battle took place between Akbar and Lehmu. And now the third battle of Panipat in 1761 was held. It was took place between fought between Shabdari and Marathas, but of the Ahmad Shabdari won. Why is that the bad people actually won the battles after just Gauri won that? Once the Prithviraj got defeated, then all the bad people are winning that. Give a setback to Marathas in the north, seals the destiny of Mughal Empire and made British entry easier. Oh, मीन्स मराठास को जो नॉर्थ में था, नॉर्थ में जहाँ पे आए होंगे उनको पीछे भेज दिया उन्होंने, अपने जो मुगल एम्पायर उन्होंने ब्रिटिश को वो जो एंट्री वो थोड़ी इजी कर दी, मुगल एम्पायर एंड ब्रिटिश एंट्री को इजी कर दिया. 64 में बक्सार बैटल टेक होता है मुस्लिम एंड इंग्लिश फोर्सेस के बीच में वंस अगेन. As a last, we learned about that it took place between Sirajudollah and English forces under the Clive in 1757. That was Placid. And now the joint forces of Muslims and English forces took place that led to English occupation of India. English forces win. If you see that English forces are continuously winning the battles. English forces, English. Next, Third Mysore War, Fourth Mysore War, Second, Sixth War that took place in 90, 92, 99, 48 to 49. English forces Tipu Sultan, and English forces and six. But the English forces at last won the battle. It led to English occupation of India. Tipu Sultan had to sign treaty of the Seringapatam, fought at Malavali and brought the Muhammad dynasty of Mysore to an end. Oh, Sikh kingdom came under the British. So if we see that Britishers are getting their kingdom at a rise, and the already prevailing culture was getting declining, declined. Now next, we have a long list here too. Prohibition of sati and female infanticide, 1829, supported by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. We have already discussed in previous videos that there was a Samaj, there was a Sthapna of Samaj, which was what was the name of the Sthapna that was established by Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Atmiya Sabha, and later on it was known by the name of Brahmo Samaj. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was the one who supported that sati pratha should be stopped, should be prohibited, and then the act was passed against its prohibition, and then Lord William Bentinck took that. It was took place. These are the reforms and acts. Next is doctrine of lapse that took place in 1848. The significance of this is adoption of son by ruler in the absence of the natural heir was banned, and that something was happened with Jhansi ki Rani, Lakshmi Bai. Widow Remarriage Act 1506 in 1566 was passed, legalized the marriage of Hindu widow, supported by Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, one of the renowned reformer. Yes. Next, Lord under the Lord Canning. Why would they mention Lord? They're not lords. They're just Ken. Next, Canning under the guide of Canning in 61, Indian Council Act was passed. Significance envisaged association of Indians with the administration at higher level. Ilbert Bill, 1833, under the Lord Ripon to bring Indian and European magistracy on equal footing, but it was taken back by the Britisher because European didn't want that it to be as implemented because they don't think that Indian lawyers are equal to the European, and they to be fight the case of European lawyers, and so they were fighting that they should not be allowed the equality of equality between the European and Indian lawyers. So I don't think that it was a succeeded well. It was at last taken back. Indian Council Act 1892, under the Lansdowne, membership of Central Legislative Council was enlarged. Morley Minto reforms. Minto II, under Minto II in 109, separate electorates to widen the gulf between Hindus and Muslims were very happy because they had now got the separate electorates as well. Chelmsford. But under the Chelmsford, Montague-Chelmsford reforms were taken place. Diarchy was introduced at provincial provincial level. Diarchy means dual system of government. Jallianwala Bagh massacre, 1919 again. Ruler Act, 1919. So it's just in a sequence that once dual system was allowed, then later on Jallianwala Bagh took place in Amritsar under the General Dyer. Extraordinary powers were given to suppress the freedom struggle with General Dyer as a commandant. That was a royal attack. That they were suppressing the freedom. What is the Simon Commission under the Lord Irwin to report working of the reforms, recommend that Dark in provinces, India to be constituted as federation and organization of armed forces. But see, without doesn't want that Simon to design our constitution or rule us. We want whatever the constitution will be, it will be on us. We will design that and just go Simon go. So we don't want that con- anything ruled by them. So it was something that whatever they thought and planned, it got failed. Gandhi impact. First Gandhi, it was the Congress called off the agitation and agreed to participate in the second round table conference. There was three table conference where Gandhi went only in one of the conference round table conference. Communal award, Lord Wellington envisaged communal representation for depressed classes besides Hindus, Muslim, and Sikhs. It was award given to the just like communal awards were started to be represented to them. Separate elaborates. See communal award that's related to that. Government of India 1935 again under the Wellington provided for a federal type of constitution directly at the center. This mission under Linlithgow Linlithgow proposed dominion status for India after the Second World War. That okay, if you will fight for us, then we will give you dominion status. And a trial under Lord Wavell. Wavell was the one who's who executes lots of educational plan in India. And the prisoners of war were put to trial at Red Fort, Delhi, and Bhulabhai Desai defended them. Wavell plan envisaged the constitution of the executive council in such a way as to give in representation to all major communities in India. Third last one, Cabinet Mission Plan 946 envisaged the establishment of the Constituent Assembly to frame the Constitution. Mountbatten Partition Plan, Indian Independence 1947, India partition and attained independence.